David Carlucci is a former New York State Senator. Joe Borelli is a former New York City Councilman. So what should your party make of that?
Well, look, hey, we have a Big Ten. We like a Big Ten, but we don't want a circus. And that's what this could be, turning it into a circus if we have people just primarying for the sake of primarying. We have a chance to put points on the board, not just names on a ballot. And this seems more like an ego trip, an idea to get your name out. But what we've seen even from DSA bona fides.
Okay, let me put it a different way. Is this a good thing for your party, what is happening?
Well, no, it's a distraction, right? It's an absolute distraction. You just got Zoran Mandami elected as mayor. You have a city council member that are allegedly allies. So stay in the city council. Help your friend get these things done.
How do you see
instead of running off to Washington, D.C.?
He doesn't want it to be a circus, but I got news for you. The clown car is coming because it's not just Hakeem Jeffries and this challenger, Chiosei. It's Dan Goldman facing a primary challenger. It's Grace Meng facing a primary challenger. It's Richie Torres facing a primary challenger. There's going to be a leftist bloodbath to replace Jerry Nadler, who's not retiring. All of the people competing for these seats are going to fall over themselves to be out-lefting each other. For better or worse, there is a lot of, momentum here in New York City after the win from Zoran Mamdani. And I think this is just the first tranche of elected officials who we'll see coming out to challenge establishment Democrats in the wake of the Mamdani win. I think we are in not just for the circus, but it's going to be a three-ring show with lions and top hats and galore.
Mentum? Is that what
I coined it.
Okay. We'll see if that one sticks, Joe. Here's the Axios headline. I'll put it up on the screen. AOC says Jeffries' primary challenge is not a good idea. AOC is one of the several high-profile progressives distancing from Osei's potential run, arguing that it is, to your point, David, a distraction from New York City Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani's victory. Well, here's more from Osei about Mamdani's win. Listen.
I find that right now, many of our leaders within the Democratic Party are not communicating in the way that they need to be. Yeah. It's not just about social media, though, right? We need our party to be pushing big ideas. I don't want us to be a party on small ideas anymore. It's not enough to just be anti-Trump and critical of Republicans. We need to be fighting to improve the material conditions of Americans.
Maybe Osei is right.
Oh, yeah, I think she is right? There shouldn't be this distraction. He shouldn't be challenging our minority leader of the U.S. House. He's this close to holding the gavel, and he needs to hold the line and work on these policies that have made Democrats attractive to other parts of the country. So it's a major distraction. I think it's more of a vanity play than anything else. We're talking about this guy that we wouldn't have been talking about otherwise, and so he's getting his message out. But to Joe's point, I think you're right. We're going to see primaries up and down the board. People have been excited, but this is an opportunity for moderate Democrats to push back, to show that there is a pathway for them in New York and around the country.
Possible there's a Democrat in town that's going to make AOC look like she's somewhere near the middle?
Oh, buckle up. I mean, this guy, he served with me in the city council, and he's as far left as one could possibly be and still be, on this planet. I think the big historical problem for Democrats is that you'd have to look back to 1998, right? We'll skip 2002 in the wake of 9/11. There was a different political animal there. 1998, Democrats actually picked up seats with their president in the White House. And that only happened, going against historical precedent because the Republicans were at war against each other. That's happening right now, just in reverse. The Democratic Party doesn't know who it is. Is it the party of Hakeem Jeffries, or is it the party of Chiosei, Zoran Mamdani, etc.? I think Chiosei, everything he said was right. He said the party stands for nothing. The party has stood for nothing except opposing Donald Trump for the last 2 years.
What's amazing about that? No, now it appears that your party stands for the affordability.
Well,
we could say sky-high prices.
We could say the same about the GOP. What does the GOP stand for? They just stand for whatever Donald Trump says, and we've seen that. We saw with tariffs. I mean, when was that ever a GOP talking point? We see the government taking ownership of public companies. Well, I'm saying there's a coalition. There's
no doubt that Donald Trump has changed the political calculation of Republicans. He's changed that. The problem is that 90% of Republicans are in lockstep with President Trump, not the other way around.
But I think you see the passion on the Democratic side, and that's leading to this.
I appreciate the debate and the discussion, gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.